5 KTMs, 2 Kawasaki's, 2 Yamahas and a Honda, with the 250s dominating. Stretch took its toll on men and their machinery, and at the overnight stop at Katsi, repairs were carried out well into the night. A good rest would be vital for drivers who would be tackling another 500 kilometers of rough and hazardous terrain today. Only 35 of the 56 cars which had started yesterday made it to the finish. We asked leading driver Greg Wiebel about the event so far.
The route is similar to was today. It'll be good. I think I've concentrated on how to drive now. It's very rough out there. I find it just my first roof. But if it's like it was today, I feel confident about tomorrow.
Repairs, food and sleep were priorities for the motorcyclists. Of the 73 who started yesterday morning, 32 had reached the overnight stop. The treacherous passes had obviously taken their toll, and riders were apprehensive about what to expect today.
I just had a problem with my bike. I blew a head gasket and I had to put water in. I stopped twice for water, but really coming home I just nursed it from the top of the bottom of the one pass rampart, which was just cruising home. I think the other are cruising as well behind me because they had the same problems. But it was a heavy day. I hope tomorrow we don't go near those passes again.
The dreaded Letsitele pass was negotiated with relative ease by Jeremy Davies on his Truck Africa KTM.
Well, Letsitele was the first pass and that was really rough. All the bikes spoiled and overheated there, and we got to the top. We went with other ramparts. Ramparts wasn't too bad. Easier than Letsitele's, but a lot of work.
Errol Dalton didn't enjoy Letsitele too much either. The lethal rocks and steep incline making progress very slow.
I had an excellent run up Letsitele, no problems at all. I had a hell of a good day today.
Leading 200 rider Brian BONTEKONING had an advantage up Letsitele in that his Winston Yamaha would have been considerably lighter than the 500s, favoured by some competitors. Despite that, the pass wasn't exactly a pleasure cruise for him. Even after the sunset in the Malutis, feverish activity continued in the pits. Many of the cars and motorcycles had suffered mechanical damage, and those who were able to worked on repairs. Today's leg of the event would be the equivalent length of a normal national, although conditions would be tougher. Both competitors and their machines would take some heavy punishment. Dinner time is when competitors congregate around the braai fires to compare notes and share post-mortems about the day's happenings. Today's racing section 2 would be 476 kilometers long for the two-wheelers and 453 for the cars. Exactly 64 competitors would be starting, 32 of each. The battle among the leading bikes was expected to be exciting, with the country's top talent bunched into the first 6 competitors off the start line. Arrested Jeremy Davies was the first to blast his Truck Africa KTM off into the hills.
Apparently the marking is not very good today, so I don't know what will happen. We'll either find our way or we're all going to get lost.
For Alfie Cox on his Forttirc Kawasaki, the 7-minute 14-second gap between he and Davies meant some hard riding was necessary to close the gap. A pep talk for leading 500 rider Errol Dalton on his BP Hutz diesel Kawasaki from manager Hilton Beattie. Dalton was in a healthy 3rd position.
Today's going to be a bit of a problem because there is gaps where there's no marking. They just told us to keep, to the river or whatever. So to let them find a way. I think I'm in the right position, so maybe I can get to them.
No wonder Clerk of the course Peter Luck looks bleary-eyed. It's 5:30 a.m., but it's never too early for Willie Island to give the crowd a show on his Super Tyres KTM. Countdown for riders leaving at 10-second intervals. Amongst them Hilton Haywood on his Super Tyres KTM, John Hodgson on the Pelham Products KTM, and Frans Sepik Jr. on another 250 KTM. 40 minutes separated the leading 6 cars. Notably absent were Klaus Diergener, Philip Milan and ALFIE Reyneke, all of them retired. There are always a million things to do at the last minute and the spectators love it. It would be a tough day for leaders Greg Wiebel and Warren Klaassen in their Raceco Kojima would have to fight to maintain their lead. And in a crucial 2nd position, Harry Roscoe would have to pull out all the stops in his Proteor playing card Raceco. 3rd off were Richard Schilling and Robbie Walk in the Mototech Raceco. Carolyn and Kenny Scholdhammer's Castrol Yokohama Porsche was in 4th spot, but a hefty 38 minutes behind leader Wiebel. His Porsche engine car could expect some fast and furious racing. Truck Africa KTM rider Jeremy Davies shared a roof win with rival ALFIE 2 years ago. If he maintained his lead over Cox now, he might just scoop that solo victory. Cox was giving Davies a flat-out chase on the Forttirc Kawasaki. With 3 roof wins already to his credit, achieving his 4th would make Cox's day. Errol Dalton wasn't slow either. His BP Hutz diesel Kawasaki 500 had left the start line a mere 3 seconds after Cox. Poetry in motion from WILLIE Island on his Super Tyres KTM. Off-roaders must be suckers for punishment. Who else would enjoy travelling for miles over this kind of terrain? Brian BONTEKONING found he and his Winston Yamaha had to proceed with caution down this boulder-strewn section of the route, which was about a third into the race and in the Sohonghong area. This roof of Africa stuff is hard work. Behind BONTEKONING, ever-popular TEBBUTT proceeded with just as much care on his Sun City Honda. This kind of terrain is all part of the challenge the event offers. Endurance is the name of the game. So are perseverance and tenacity. But when the going gets tough, even the tough can take a tumble, proving that despite being a veteran of the sport, anyone can make a mistake. The only privateer in the first 10 starters had been Willie Venter, who was running consistently on his Yamaha 250. Also making steady progress and riding consistently was John Hodgson on the Pelham Products KTM 250. We're alive with the sound of raceco's. There was action aplenty from Harry Roscoe's, who'd moved into first position and was flying along in the Protea playing card single-seater. Roscoe's been experiencing bad luck this season, but if he kept up his present pace and suffered no problems like punctures or breakdowns, he could very well be the first Class 9 since 1985 to win this prestigious event. 12 minutes behind Roscoe were Richard Schilling and navigator Robbie Walk, equally swift in their Motortake raceco. The third raceco in the chase belonged to overnight leaders Greg Wiebel and Warren Klaassen, who dropped back and were running 16 minutes behind Schilling. Despite this being his first ever roof, Wiebel has proved he's the stuff of which winners are made. Joining in the raceco scrum as they tore through Lesotho's veld were Bix Carolyn and Kenny Scholdhammer in their Castrol Yokohama Porsche-powered car. Lying 5th at this stage were Class 2 leaders Derek Pinoy and Antoine Meyring, whose little Folksy Beetle was behaving like a star. Leaders of Class 5 were Cassie Coetzee and Wiley Harrington in their Toyota Hilux 4x4. 8th overall and bringing home the Class 3s were Theo Krier and Piet Liebenberg in the Mazda Bakkie, who so far had run a very consistent race. Linton Draper was looking good in his Nissan Safari as he and Mike Pretorius held on to 9th overall and the Class 6 lead. At the finish, the crowds waited for the first motorcyclist. Rain and hail in the mountains had slowed riders down by almost 2 hours. The first motorcycle appears, and it's Alfie Cox on the Forttirc Kawasaki. Incredibly, this Pietermaritzburg rider has just won his 4th roof of Africa. An ecstatic Hazel Cox hugs her husband.
I don't believe this, man.
Well done.
Second man home on the Truck Africa KTM was a disappointed Jeremy Davies, who'd lost the lead after getting lost.
We've had a good go today.
It was a triumphant finish for former roof winner WILLIE Island, whose Super Tyres KTM reached the checkered flag less than 4 minutes after Davies.
We were in front today and there was just no markers.
No, I'm telling you, we went for 2-3 kilometers German out guessing, and we found markers. It's ridiculous, man. You know, a person throws a whole race away because the course is not marked properly. You know, I just feel for other people too, you know.
First car home was the Motortech Race Cove last year's winner Richard Schilling and navigator Rob Wall. In second place were Greg Wiebel and Warren Klaassen in the Raceco Kojima.
It was very tough. Take my hat off to Greg Wiebel. He gave us a hard time today. We got here first.
Tune in to the Channel of Champions next Tuesday for edited highlights of the Mnet Lesotho Sun Roof of Africa Rally, 7th round of the Total GTE Off-Road Championship.